Good afternoon. I'm Michelle, and this is my first video for Chinook's Edge. I have been asked recently about embedding audio files into Google, particularly for the purposes of students who struggle with reading and really in their testing environment. And so I have found a workaround that is free and really probably as easy as recording an audio test is going to be. So you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need access to your Google Drive. Your Chromebook will be perfect for this. And you're going to need something to record your audio. And you could do that off your Chromebook, or you could do it with your smartphone, whatever is comfortable to you. So I'm going to use my smartphone because I can sit with it in a comfortable space and I can read through the test. The thing I do want to make sure I do is I want to read each thing as a separate entity. So I don't want to read the whole test. I want all of the instructions and all of the questions as separate audio files so that I can embed them into my document or my slides or even, yes, my Google Forms at the locations where I want them. So I do need to break it down, and that's probably where the bulk of your work is going to be, is in the recording. So what you're going to do first off is you're going to take your device, if you're using a device, and you're going to install the Google Drive app to it. Then we're going to go onto your Google Drive and we're going to create a new folder, because really you don't want these audio files all over your Google Drive. So we're going to call it Audio Files. And then we're going to go into there and we're going to create another folder so that each test or each document that you're working with has its own file for your audio. So if I was recording, for example, a grade 9 science test for Unit 1, I might say grade 9 science, Unit 1 test audio files. Something like that, so that somewhere down the road I know what all that content is in there and I don't have to sit and listen to it over and over and over again. So I'm going to open this up. Then I would take my device. If you're using an iPhone, it comes from the factory with the iPhone is voice memos. And the icon is white, has some little black sound waves, and super simple to use. Press the red button, read, press the red button to stop, and then it gives you the opportunity to rename it. And so we are going to want to rename the files as well, so that as I'm embedding them into my document, or particularly my test, I'm getting the right audio with the right questions. So I'm not going to use a test, those are secured, but we'll use this document called 10 Things Your High School Teacher Wishes You Knew. So I would take my phone and I would hit this little red button, and I'm going to just read that first sentence. 10 things your high school teacher wishes you knew. Okay, so now I've got it recorded. I'll have to hit done first. Then I'm going to take out the name new recording, and I'm going to call it instructions pre-testing. That makes sense to me. You name it, whatever makes sense to you. And I'm going to save it into my phone. Now it's in my phone. I want to get it to Google Drive. That's why we installed the Google Drive app. There's lots of ways you could do this. You could hook it right into your computer to bring it up, but I'm just going to use the little send to button, and I'm going to copy to Google Drive. And yes, I want to save it. Now, I don't think I put it in that folder, but the good news is I can come into Google Drive and I can find that audio. Now, I could have sent it directly into the folder, but I think probably most people would make the same error that I've just made. And so we're going to just refresh my Google Drive, and then we're going to move it into that audio files folder, and we'll carry on. And I could do a batch upload. I could do all of my reading at once, rename as I go, and then I could load it all in at once, insert at once. Now, the good news is, yes, this is a little bit of work to do, but once you've done it, it's done for good. So I'm going to take this instruction pre-testing, and I'm going to just move it. So I want to go move to, and I could do this with a batch of files again if I wanted to. I want to go into audio files, and I want to go into that grade 9, and I'm going to move here. So now my audio file is in that folder. It's not cluttering up my Google Drive. And I can use that to insert into any document, any slides session that I want. And yes, I can even insert that into Forms. It's not quite as pretty in Forms maybe as we can make it in the other two, but it will still work. Now, you're going to need an icon to work with. I have included an icon on the Google Classroom that you can use. There's the icon of headphones, or you can go and search for your own. Again, this is your classroom in your document. You use it as you see fit. Now, we're going to come back over to the document that I want to put the audio in. I'm going to click where I would like that to be, and I'm going to insert the icon. You can do it one of two ways. You can go insert image, and you can upload it from your computer. If you have something you wish to use in Drive, you can just bring it over from your Google Drive folder. or you can use the drawing tool that's built into Google. And we're going to just import that image, and we can shrink it down a little bit because it is still a little bit big, but I don't want to make it too tiny in case you need a big one. So we'll grab an image. I'm going to just upload those headphones that I've embedded into the Google Classroom. And there they are. In the size they're going to appear on my screen. I actually do want that a little smaller, so I'm just going to shrink it down just a little bit here. Maybe I'll try from the top edge. There we go. Nice and little. And I'm going to just go save and close. Now I've got the headphones on my screen to suggest to kids that that's where the audio is going to be. Again, if we're dealing with children who have a hard time reading, let's not put that in text. Let's make that an image. Now I'm going to copy it, and everywhere that I want to have that headphone, I'm going to paste it. And I can do it by right-click paste, or I can click and I can go Control V. And everywhere that I would have a question or instructions or a source that I've read, I'm going to put those headphones in. Now, I want to put the audio on. It's actually pretty easy. I'm going to come back over here to my audio for the test, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to choose Get Shareable Link. Now, this is just one file. I'm going to have to do this for every file, but again, once I'm done, and I have a test that is set up for children who struggle with reading. So I'm going to get the shareable link. When I click on that, just a normal click, it copies it for me automatically. So I don't have to copy that. It's done it for me. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to right-click on those headphones, and I'm going to choose Link. I am going to paste it, and I'm going to apply it. The screen itself does not look different than it did before. But if I click on these headphones, a little link appears down here, and when I take that link, it is going to open in another tab. But again, I'm going to remind you this was free, and we are not learning a new workflow with this. We're using what we have and what we already know. When I hit play, 10 things your high school teacher wishes you knew. It reads it to me. Now, if it was reading something long, I could obviously come back to this screen and I could look at the words, or if I'm a student who just wants to have this lack of distraction and listen carefully, that works well too. So again, if I click on it and I click the link, it will play it for me. I can embed the same thing, the same way into Google Slides. Now, if I wanted to do this in forms, if I was doing a multiple choice test and I wanted to have Flubberoo do the grading for me, because you can do that if it's a multiple choice test, you don't need to do your grading. I'm going to open a Google form. This one is going to have the link embedded. It's not going to look quite as good. It's not quite as slick in Google Forms. It's possible, but it's just not quite as slick. We can add images, but we can't embed links onto the images yet. Google is constantly rolling out updates. It could be coming. But now you know how to do it should you need to embed some audio for your children. Thank you.